Do they want the Rek'Sai?
Oh, it's going to be a priority Lucian this time around. So with the Twitch being banned and the adjustment there,
yeah,
it's no longer on this Rek'Sai. Full steam ahead for Krystal.
Well, could be Rek'Sai Maokai picked up here for GimGoon and Wushuang. In fact, Wushuang already locking that one away. He looked so comfortable on it on the last game. Makes a whole lot of sense that he'd pick it up now. We'll see what changes on the side of Snake, whether they can make an adjustment to this sort of global comp that they have had success with on the side of GT. There's the movement speed available from Karma, so two of the big deal components of what made their comp good last time are definitely there. Could, of course, put that Karma in the mid lane if they wanted to. ZZR thinking about what he wants to play. Of course, EliSS is an option for him, and they're probably looking to grab their solo lanes as the last two picks, keep their options open just a little bit. We'll see what is picked up. As there's the Maokai. And a possible Viktor here as well to be picked away from Republic. Has shown a lot of proficiency on it so far. Would make a bit of sense here out of Snake to deny that pick away. And look, this is something that has worked out in the past. How do you feel about it, Frosco?
I mean, it makes sense to pick up Viktor and Maokai in the same rotation simply because Maokai is going to deny a lot of damage that Viktor will put down.
Yeah.
Flandre, I don't think he did a terrible job last game with his teleport flank initiation on Maokai, but there was simply an issue of follow-up.
I feel like it was a team effort losing that game as well.
Yeah, typically it is. It's now a question of, will they be punished for not giving Flandre something like Ekko? Because I still feel like the Snake are putting themselves in a position where they're saying, Tank is our primary carry, Krystal is our primary carry, and Flandre, you are support.
Wow, we're now looking at a possible Ekko pickup, but also PentaQ heading back towards the Ezreal. Which could actually be dangerous because, you know, game number one wasn't quite offering the same amount of carry potential that his opponent was, but now up against a Lucian could be a very different story. As they're keeping Republic's pick a secret, unless he's going to be playing the Ekko or the Karma. And now Snake to round out their picks, and I would love to see Jiezou picking up the Thresh. Because, of course, was a champion that he was known for. Why still bottom lane? Very, very powerful. And the pick potential coming out of this comp, if they do manage to pick up the EliSS as well, you pair that with the likes of the Twisted Advance from Flandre. A lot more sort of early power in this game. If they can move around the map like they were last time, we'll see whether they can make that one work. Braum actually switched over to. We'll see what Jiezou does want to go for in the end. 13 seconds to go.
I don't mind the Thresh pickup. I particularly like it with Viktor just because he is immobile, so allowing him to reposition himself. But obviously, Braum is always going to offer so much in denying siege, and if you have Viktor and Braum, it's pretty hard to get to your towers through that wave clear as well as the Unbreakable.
Very true. But is going to be the Braum picked up, like you were mentioning, so EliSS is going to be locked away as well. Now Republic thinking about a counter pick here for the Viktor in the mid lane. The standard LPL counter would be the Kassadin, which is currently hovering. Of course, all we've seen out of this guy so far has been Viktor, and he has looked very good on the champion as well. Denial now coming through from Snake will mean that the Kassadin will be locked in, so Dade made it look good. We'll see whether it's going to work out for GT as well.
They don't have a lot of wave clear.
They've got a lot of maneuverability, though. So if this comp ever gets into a position when they're ahead, should be able to snowball this one out of control. But you're exactly right. We saw like mid-game troughs here for the Kassadin lineup when we saw it being played by Newbie. But Dade bridged that one beautifully by killing everyone.
The bigger issue again, though, is that if this composition falls behind, you have very little options to kind of stop the bleeding and play catch-up just because you don't have any wave clear. Whereas on the other side, Snake really prioritizing their ability to keep their towers up. Again, having the Viktor's wave clear as well as having the Braum available.
And also, there's the fact that when we saw Newbie do this, they had a Graves in the jungle, which has a lot of wave clear. Of course, the shotgun pellets, not to mention the end of the line, being able to clear out a minion wave. And they had the culling in a pinch out of Lucian. Now they've got True Shot Barrage, which doesn't necessarily completely destroy a minion wave, but does sort of buy you some time. And they've got a Rek'Sai, which has to get right up to the creep wave if he's going to like help clear. So this could be a bigger problem for GT than it was for Newbie.
They've got 2 range champions in Karma and Ezreal, so this could be disastrous or it could go wonderfully.
Yeah, well, we'll see exactly what happens as we hop into our final game of the night. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the riff for our final match. As we see a bit of a pan, and it's all tied up. GT moving out. We'll see whether we are going to have any invade situations, anything like that. Whether it is going to be sort of this standard 5-point defense that we have been seeing a lot of very recently.
Okay, this is something that I want to talk about. So we do see the Keystone Masteries popping up on the bottom of your screen as Snake are actually setting themselves up for a 5-man invade. And it's going to be the Windspeaker's Blessing picked up by Braum.
Yeah. Oh, there's the flash, actually. Flandre flashing in as well. Will he get into Twisted Advance range? I'm not sure whether he will. 2 flashes burnt out of Snake. 1 in response, and it's PentaQ's. My God, already. Things are pretty explosive right now.
See if they'll be around to punish that lack of summoner on PentaQ, though, or if he will get away from it. Obviously, Ezreal will have his Arcane Shift available to him at some point. But Windspeaker's Blessing. So Braum has the flexibility where he goes through quite a few summoners. Bond of Stone is kind of like the big one or the staple. Mad Life was running Windspeaker's Blessing, and obviously it's just going to synergize really well with the Unbreakable by offering extra damage reduction as well as armor and MR. Or I guess not damage reduction, but shield percentage.
Yeah.
10%?
The other thing to talk about here as far as Keystone Masteries is that Deathfire Touch that Republic was able to pick up, as PentaQ doesn't have Flash, he's only level 1. Winter's Bite somehow sneaks through there as well. The Flash is forward, that's going to be the stun. And that is going to be the cheesy First Blood picked up by Krystal.
Very cute adaptation from Jiezou and Krystal there to understand that they were going to go for the Gromp, that Ezreal did not have the Flash available, and like you said, able to bend it like Beckham between the Gromp, tag him right in the hip.
Yeah, really nicely played so far. Flandre actually taking a bit of a beating here from GimGoon towards the top side of the map. First time, though, that we're going to see standard lanes.
See if Snake fare better this time around, but still, they take standard lanes and they put Flandre on the likes of Maokai. He's so good as a carry-oriented jungler, and I feel like Snake repeatedly defang him.
Yeah. Well, we'll see whether he can make it work, as right now he has to navigate the Ekko lane, and being a strong top laner in a sort of losing lane situation, or a lane that is possibly difficult, is definitely a big deal. But right now, Krystal playing with a gigantic lead of 7 CS to 0.
I mean, that said, though, the big thing is he has the First Blood, but he has not been able to spend it, so does theoretically have a lead, but not yet in this lane, other than the level advantage.
Which could actually be a big deal here as he's zoning.
Oh, it's a big deal on Lucian, obviously.
Yeah. Considering that level 2 power. A lot of damage actually coming down from tank right here as Republic just tanking things up, utilizing that corrupting potion quite well, and actually farming fairly effectively, trading his health bar. And ZZR has actually found Wushuang, looking to try and steal away some Sentinels, gets both of them there, as there's the knocker. Oh, Cocoon is going to go wide, eats himself a tunnel. That was a good trade there. Jiezou made his way in. Savoki was looking to try and help out his jungler. Lots of pings though, and Wushuang, he can't get onto that wolf camp. We'll have to head towards the top side.
Yeah, trying to take advantage of this bot lane push for Krystal. And Jiezou here, creating space and invading on Wushuang.
Yeah, and you can see Krystal is just relentless right now on this push. No pun intended, of course. As he heads towards them. And Savoki, of course, he did leave for a moment, but Jiezou was out of there for quite some time.
They're looking for the dive.
Yeah.
This is super dangerous.
It is. Of course, Repel, pretty good tool as far as diving is concerned, but...
Do have to note that the tower aggro has been adjusted here.
Yes.
Even if you change tower aggro, the person who picks it up will still take the tower at full strength.
It'll keep ramping and smacking you even harder. As Wushuang actually getting a little bit of counter jungling done himself. As nice shield comes down, but PentaQ taking the brunt of that. Jiezou does need to be careful. He needs to hit those Winter's Bites to be able to help these trades out. And GT actually playing that one out quite nicely because Savoki, he's very healthy here. And you can see Snake, they're actually both sharing the brunt of this, so anyone gets caught out, GT might be able to capitalize. Ezreal looking for a possible gank on the Republic. Does still have his flash, so that's probably what they're looking for. But just heads back into his jungle.
All quiet on the Western Front, really.
Yeah, apart from the fact that GimGoon is so far ahead, as Flandre was forced to go back to base.
I mean, that said, Maokai doesn't necessarily need gold to be super effective. Obviously, it helps. It's more so about, with this lead, will GimGoon be able to snowball himself into absurd control and open up split push opportunity for GT?
Yeah.
Rather than, Flandre is behind on Maokai.
Well, Ezreal has snuck himself into the bottom side brush here. We're going to start the back. We'll see whether he actually completes that one. Doesn't, actually cancels that one out. And there's a Cocoon. PentaQ may be caught out of position here. The exhaust goes down. Arcane shifts there. One more auto attack. And he would have been locked down, but it's not going to happen. And Snake don't find the second kill of the game onto the AD carry, but they're still looking for more. Oh, big Q there out of Savoki. You can see Snake, they may actually just need to back away.
I think they need to. Again, PentaQ still has his heal summoner available to him, so definitely looking for the bait right there. Yeah. Good patience not to burn it preemptively. At this point, I think Snake are just hanging around to try to reset this wave and get a centered creep wave coming in.
Yeah, GimGoon looking for a stun, doesn't get it. Flandre, very patient up here towards the top side. We're going to try and clear things out underneath this turret. Tank actually taking a lot from Republic, but deals a lot back. Nice death ray. He does have a Negatron cloak, so looking to try and... Oh, there's the flash forward. Jiezou doesn't, of course, have the Glacial Fissure, but ZZR, he's still here. PentaQ completely out of mana. And Krystal, they just can't catch up. Too much movement speed out of this GT bottom lane. As Tank could be in trouble.
No one has any mana.
Trading blows, both of them. Wushuang, he's going to make his way in. Doesn't have any mana either, but of course doesn't need it.
Jiezou just unfortunately not connecting with his Winter's Bite.
Yeah.
Burned his flash there too.
So a little bit unfortunate. That being said, it's still a gigantic CS lead here for Krystal. So when he does go back to base, he will be able to capitalize very effectively. But I feel like they're playing a little bit too antsy, given the fact that they don't have an advantage. But oh my goodness, Tank flashed on right now. Republic picks up the kills. Wushuang just holds onto the tower aggro.
Brilliant play right there from Wushuang as well as Republic. Chaos Storm was dropped trying to burst Republic out. Instead, they just step forward, dodge out of the Chaos Storm damage, and pick up a free first blood. This will really help Kassadin get through this struggling early lane phase against a ranged champion.
Well, more aggression towards the bottom side as Jiezou is going to find himself snared up. The Snake shoved this wave into the turret. Looking to go back. We'll see what they decide to pick up here as well and which direction Krystal will take this Lucian build. Did see both iterations of it from Peko earlier on in the night. He has actually decided to go for the Caulfield's Warhammer, as well as that Serrated Dirk. So heading towards the Ghostblade is item number 1, and then probably the Black Cleaver for that sort of new iteration of the Lucian build. But a lot of early power. That being said, gave PentaQ some time, clear out a minion wave, get himself back in touching distance of that farm.
I don't know how much I really agree with the Black Cleaver build in this scenario. Just hold on. Another gank might be going down. Defensive gravitational field.
Yeah, ward goes in. GT understand that ZZR is waiting around, but 2v2 may actually be something that GT could look for, given the fact that they were able to put Tank relatively behind. And in fact, Republic able to catch up and farm again as well, as there's the tunnel in. Tank once again in trouble. Savoki's made his way over as well, as he doesn't have flash. And Tank is just going to fall down. Republic grabs a second one in the mid lane.
And it's just so oppressive, the fact that Kassadin jumps in, tags you with the slow, and how immobile Viktor is already.
Yeah.
Rek'Sai, he punishes champions that stand still, and in a control mage meta, she's really finding her place again.
Most certainly. And it's just what Wushuang's able to do with the champion as well. He's just looking so comfortable. Teleport, he's going to get tanked back into the mid lane. But honestly, the damage right now has been done largely because Republic's 2-0-0. That is going to be such an early Rod of Ages. As he's going to head back, picks it up now. That is a pre-10-minute rower.
And just for standard, 15-minute rower is pretty much the standard there. So getting it 5 minutes early as well as a dive up top.
Yeah, Flandre looking for a twisted advance at the right time in order to keep himself safe. Republic is going to get locked down. Tower's going to kill him. Flandre trades it 1-for-1, and that is exactly what he could hope for.
Best case scenario there. Likewise, Kassadin did not pick up the kill, so not the primary benefactor there. Does get the assist, but it's GimGoon now in control.
Really nicely done from Flandre. Diving Flandre is a dangerous thing to do, indeed.
Diving Maokai in general.
Yeah.
Especially in the 6.10 patch where the towers are doing so much more damage to you.
Oh, Krystal just throws a point-blank culling in there. Flashes out of the way, uses the heal. But going 1v2, exhausted, uses the ultimate, and then has to blow both of his summoners. Heal came in from PentaQ though, so it's 2 summoners for 2, but the flash is the important one out of Krystal. And I mean, I feel like the ham might be a little bit too much now.
No, I respect.
You respect the 1v2 pal?
Yeah, naturally it was a really good exhaust timing from Savoki right there, as well as good management of the culling between PentaQ and Savoki to make sure that Karma survived.
Yeah.
But I mean, think of how cool that would have been if he had gotten away with it. To go toe-to-toe with 2 people and then flash heal yourself out.
I do like the idea. Flandre, going to take a time winder here. Z-Drive Resonance avoided with the Twisted Advance. I like it a lot.
Cute little maneuver right there.
Yep, conveniently placed minion. Gives it to him. Like it a lot. Does actually now have some Merc Treads as well, so I'm not going to be too worried about that parallel convergence this time around. We'll be dodging a lot of that. This Krystal throws out an Ardent Blaze. Everyone misses their skill shots here as Wushuang just wanders out of the way. Seeker going to come in, but Smite is going to grab that Raptor.
So...
So many pings. My goodness.
He's going back in.
Yeah, they're trying to get it. Savoki is going to make his way around. Can speed up the Rek'Sai. Gets her out of there.
Quickly touching on the bot lane itemization, because we do have the completed Ghost Blade coming out of Krystal, so obviously looking for that Ghost Blade into Black Cleaver build.
Yeah.
So good things that it does for Lucian. He's able to stack up all the Black Cleaver procs really quickly with how quickly he goes through his cooldowns. The CDR on Black Cleaver translates directly into safety for Lucian just because he gets more Relentless Pursuits out. It's a mid-game power spike, which kind of synergizes with where Lucian is naturally strong anyway. Bad things. He doesn't have any other AD damage dealers on his team, so he's shredding all of that armor for no one else.
Yep.
He loses a lot of crit on this build, which impacts his late-game damage. And I just feel like because there's no one else on his team, and because of the way that these games have been going, trending later and later, I just don't think that this build is necessarily worth it in this scenario.
One thing I do like about it is the fact that the big deal with an Ekko, and I don't actually know whether this entirely works out, is the fact that he's so sticky. However, with the Rage passive that you do get out of the Black Cleaver, and of course the Ghost Blade giving you so much movement speed, means that he might be able to save himself a little bit more effectively, whilst also being able to potentially shred the Ekko using his tank busting ability.
I mean, it's pretty much entirely for Rek'Sai and GimGoon.
Yeah. Which is theoretically what Krystal needs to be fighting in this comp at the same time. One thing that we need to talk about is the fact that GT's comp is very short range, apart from, you know, the Karma and PentaQ there on the Ezreal. So Lucian might actually get some freedom in a lot of these fights at the same time. Well, there's Twisted Advance trying to create some distance there for Flandre, but 3 friends is going to mean that he's going to fall down in between turrets, and GT just feeding on the tree.
When we talked about this composition has such a potential to snowball and run away with games. They can never fall behind because they don't have the wave clear to just stall out a game back towards power spikes in their itemization, and very quickly starting to run away with this. They now have even towers, although so much more pressure in between their mid and top lanes, which means that Wushuang has so much more space to contest CZR.
Yeah, and where they needed control on this map, they have it as well. GimGoon's ahead. Jiezou was looking for him, but he's doing fantastically well. 22 CS in the lead. Republic's ahead as well. 2-1 and 2 now on the scoreline. Behind in farm, but of course that is what he's likely to do given the fact that he is Kassadin. But Snake, they really want to answer back right now. This red buff under fire as Wushuang gets tagged. Red buff is going to reset. Krystal looking to try and pick that one up. Does have himself the Phage now as well. So very close to grabbing that first 2-item spike, as ZZR is going to be able to pick this one up quite easily. And Rift Herald could actually be an option that they're looking at now. Wushuang now heading towards the bottom side, and oh dear, Flandre possibly in trouble one more time. Savoki making his way over, very, very quick on the Karma. Yeah, no, not going to be able to find it this time. Mantra Q, not even going to be able to get the second tick. And thankfully the tree is going to be alive. Ghostblade popped here towards the top lane. And Krystal's going to be able to help take down this turret. So turret lead now still there for Snake. But that's a Mountain Drake going down for GT. And that is a big deal. But they might be able to push forward.
It will be traded 1-for-1 though, as likewise the bottom tier tower will also fall. Like you said, they have great pushing potential between Lucian and EliSS. One of the beautiful things about these two champions. And look at that, just getting destroyed.
Yeah, inner turret is going to fall down, so really, really quick. And that is the gold lead back in the hands of Snake. Very, very quickly here as well. Answered very, very quickly by PentaQ towards the bottom side of the map. Republic.
All in all, it will be tower advantage to Snake, but Mountain Dragon advantage to GT, so naturally kind of taking the tower versus taking the thing that will allow you to take more towers.
Yep. Like it a lot. Krystal as well helping add some damage to this Rift Herald. As Jay-Z's tanking it. It's going to reset, though. As True Shot Barrage flies through as well. Rift Herald just goes on a merry journey. Now Snake just give up on that plan completely. Republic continues to push up. You can see Tank making his way back into this lane. Abyssal Scepter now under his belt. So a little bit more safety from the Kassadin. And of course, a lot of wave clear is available.
Checking across from items again. Sorry. That's what I'm doing, is looking around what everyone's got. So kind of the next objective that teams really want to go to at this point is you either want to look for the Rift Herald, contest the upcoming blue buff, which is where Ping has gone down for Snake. The issue is that you're trying to, the team who is being proactive is trying to siege into a Viktor. They do have dive potential, obviously having the Ekko and the Rek'Sai available to them, but they don't have siege potential, even with that Mountain Drake. So they need to either catch Snake here, kill them, and then transfer this into mid-tier tower, or they need to dive and take out this Viktor before doing it.
Well, the teleport is actually going to be taken down here as blue buff is going to be stolen by Wushuang, but he's out of position. There's the flanking play from Flandre as he's looking to get his way into this fight. Culling flies through. Flandre still in a good position right now, but no one's really died. Death Ray comes down. GimGoon still strong in this fight as that's another twisted advance. In goes ZZR, but there's the ultimate out of GimGoon. Sick plays out of this Ekko as he finally falls down. Snake, they grab one, but RGT going to be able to do any more. Yeah, there it is. Republic now just going to set up shop. My God. He hasn't stacked up the Rift Walk just yet. As he's sitting on top of a pink ward, knows that he's safe. Unfortunately, blows it just there. And the Force Pulse going to be utilized. Teleport came out from Tank, but he decided to cancel it because the fight was already over. They grabbed the one pick, and they'll just move back. Of course, GimGoon just about to respawn, had the teleport available, so I like the apprehensive play.
Yeah, and in the end, it really comes down to that single kill on GimGoon. Now, Wushuang did manage to secure his own blue buff, but he does deny that away from Republic's Kassadin, so small victory there. But more importantly, this idea that the proactive team, they need to fight over these small jungle objectives because they can't fight around the towers unless they want to commit to the dive.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what more they can get. You can see GT, not a whole lot of deep vision in the enemy base. The Snake will be able to grab their blue buff. ZZR helping Tank grab that one. So Jiezou actually possible face check right here. Parallel convergence is going to lock him down the Braum. He is relatively tanky, but they grab him. That is going to be GT now with a 4 versus 5 situation in their control, and we'll see what they can get from it. Possible mid lane out of turret, something like that. Wushuang looking to come in for the dive. Tank has spotted him out, though. Grabs some movement speed from him with that transfer power.
And this is the issue that we were talking about.
Yeah. Just can't push in.
And it's continuously GT. I mean, they understand, and they're making good proactive plays here, saying, okay, we can't fight them in the mid lane. We need to continuously move into the jungle. But they're kind of out of objectives now. They're waiting for Dragon to spawn, which means that Snake now have a minute 43 of breathing room. We're stay in our lanes. We have defensive vision set up. No reason to get picked off. Allocate farm, get a quick back end, and let's reset this and try to see try our hand at the next 5v5.
Well, you can see Krystal relentlessly pursues his way away from Republic. Unable to get that pick just there as Ezreal with some apprehensive play. Savoki and Wushuang actually looking to try and steal away the red buff. I believe he was able to there as well. There it is. So Wushuang grabs himself the red, heads his way out. He's a very cheeky Rek'Sai.
He's smart.
Yeah.
He's an exciting jungler.
Well, GT off the back of Wushuang,
and
looking good.
It's no slouch that he's doing this across from the likes of ZZR. ZZR really stepped up in the back half of Snake's spring split.
On a ZZR champion here as well.
Yeah. I mean, effectively Snake brought in Tom, and then suddenly ZZR really started picking himself up.
Yeah. And now I believe they've got SOFM. Do they?
We'll see.
Sitting on the bench at the moment. Flandre taking a lot of damage there towards the top side of the map. Tank now as well. Just chilling here in the mid lane as Republic clearing out minions as well, but not as quickly as this Viktor is able to do so very nicely. Jiezou eats himself a tunnel. Delicious, delicious tunnels.
High in fiber.
Delicious. Ezreal eating some popcorn chicken.
Nope. More importantly, Dragon spawning in 4 seconds here. So again, we talked about it. There was that minute 43. That was what you got, Snake. That was your breathing ground. Are you choosing to fight here? And it looks like they will. Moving into the area, it is going to be another Mountain Drake and setting up pockets of true vision.
Wushuang, of course, has that Void Rush. So can reposition himself towards that dragon, assuming he can get some tunnels in place. Doesn't actually have too many. Has one towards his wolf camp, so that one will let him in. Actually has a couple deep in the enemy jungle as well, so can go for a potential flank if he wants to Rek'Sai his way in. But now Snake just loitering around the dragon area, not necessarily making a decisive move towards it.
I think they're setting a trap. There's one blue trinket. It's the only one available to GT now. They're still waiting on their GimGoon trinket off of cooldown.
Yeah, you can see Wushuang is going to make his way in there as Savoki. Krystal caught out. There's some dangerous stuff. Teleports coming in. Had to be cancelled there. Actually, no. That was... looked weirdly like a...
it's because Savoki was backing on top of the teleport.
I got so perplexed. I was like, why is he still backing? There's someone teleporting on him. Not going to happen, but Krystal, once again, overly aggressive. Unfortunately, this time, isn't going to be able to get himself out. Tried to flash, and that is going to be Mountain Drake number 2 here for GT. And this could actually help their sieging ability, because every time they hit one of these structures or the neutral objectives, they'll do a lot more damage to it.
It'll definitely compensate for their inability to do, and more importantly, it means that they can get more out of it when they finally do take down Viktor.
Yeah, and you can see Flandre actually getting caught out towards his Krug camp. So Snake just not necessarily looking like the controlled team that we saw in game number 1. GT now with all the momentum of the win after game number 2. Just looking really, really good.
Yeah, and it's really off of the back of GT's jungler. You know, we talked about how you look at this team on paper, and they pretty much... they retain GimGoon. Like, GimGoon is always going to be a solid, yes, this is the guy we want, phenomenal top laner. He showed that time and time again. But getting rid of, this trap.
Oh, Krystal once again caught out. He's going to get snared. Wushuang right on top of him, but he gets stunned up. The Winter's Bite was there. Savoki's going to grab it with her Q, and now Jiezou forced to flash out of the way. Tank there with a lot of upfront unloaded damage, but he's taking so much himself. Republic picks that one up. The Chaos Storm is still there. As you can see, Flandre attempting to tank, but the low health bars on GT, no one's dead. And Snake have to back away. Jiezou's going to fall. GimGoon, he's going to tank the turret on his way out, and that is 3 for nothing. GT playing beautifully.
They're just so sticky, and Snake can't get them off. There's nothing that they can do to reset any of this. You have Ezreal, Kassadin, Karma, Rek'Sai, and Ekko. Every single one of those champions has some sort of way to augment their ability to get to a back line.
Yeah.
And to stay on top of you.
And Krystal just can't be walking right next to Jiezou, face-checking a brush. They knew that they had members of GT on the bottom side of the map. And that is sort of twice in a row that Krystal, unfortunately, just got eviscerated at the beginning.
And again, the Mountain Dragon really coming into play. It's so important that when GT manage to get these team fights and kill, because that's the only way that they take objectives. It has to be off of the back of team fights, which thank God we're in a team fighting meta, because the priority of coming to these monster objectives. Because otherwise, Snake would just infinitely get to sit here and just keep everything up. They have the Unbreakable, they have the Culling, they have the Viktor laser. But Mountain Dragon, 20% bonus damage to these structures means that they get so much more done and are so much more effective off of the back of these team fights.
Real big deal. However, it is only 2,000 gold, no, not even, 1,200 gold, also the lead for GT. So despite the fact that they have been able to pick up 3 times the kills, still unable to really create any meaningful lead in this game. We'll see whether Snake can get themselves together, find these picks that they are able to do.
But a lot of that is in farm discrepancies, particularly between the mid and the AD carries. So Krystal, 217 to 192. Tank, 256 to 227. But that discrepancy is pretty much entirely compensated for just the kill advantage that Kassadin has in respect to mid versus mid.
Yeah. And right now, Flandre fighting Republic. Not too worried. Sat Magic actually helping him out a lot here, as both of these champions benefit from the amount of spells used, which is sort of cute.
Cute interaction.
Yeah. Cocoon going to come down as Wushuang actually taking a lot of damage from ZZR here. He's going to try and run away as the rest of Snake are making their way in, but Rek'Sai just looks relatively immune to damage, especially of the magic variety with the Merc Treads and the Spirit Visage completed. And he just shrugs it off and wanders away.
Double locket.
Yeah. What does it mean?
Means that you cover it with more space.
We'll see whether Jiezou decides to turn it into a banner command instead. Looks like he's not, as that is a Ruby Crystal sitting in there as well. So I'm going to have double the shields, which is a good thing. Not going to have double the auras, but if they split up in these team fights, keeping it on everyone, that leads in passive, big deal. And once again, Krystal going aggressive. GimGoon taking a bit of damage there. Just the Ghost Blade popped. Nice Unbreakable there from Jiezou. Makes sure that no extra vision is gained from the True Shot barrage.
Krystal really has been very aggressive this series.
Oh yeah, he's keen bean.
Ooh, Infernal Drake.
So, very sort of all-powerful coveted Drakes coming up this game.
Yeah, probably the 2 most wanted dragons.
Which is sort of important here for GT as well. Is suiting them, because that is where they want to be fighting. And if they manage to get these dragons that are so important, it means that, you know, if a Cloud Drake had have come up, for instance, like Snake sort of say, all right, well, I guess we're happy to sort of give this one up. Not as much of a big deal, but when it's these ones that are really going to help GT carry themselves towards a late game where they will be able to start a fight that they can win and then take down the structures, it's going to be a big move.
It's 1 a.m., so I'm going to ask you to do this math for me.
Okay.
Okay, this dragon is going to...
It's not a really good reason to make me do math, but yeah.
Is going to come online at around like 29:10, so just after 29 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Elder Drake spawns at 35. If they immediately take it, are they just literally 19 seconds off of missing the possibility of trying to get triple Mountain Dragon because the Elder Drake will be the next dragon that spawns, or will they sneak in one more dragon?
I think no matter what, there will be one more dragon if they take it. So I think that the Elder Dragon only spawns if you kill a dragon after 35 minutes.
Okay.
I think. But we will be able to figure this one out.
It's so tricky when you read it. It took me the longest time to try to figure out, does it mean that there's only 3 of one type of elemental dragon in a game, or that there's only 3 elemental types of dragons in a game?
I'm pretty sure there's 4. Oh my goodness. What about the 5th one? Where's the Heart Dragon?
Who writes it like that?
I don't know, but we can't make Captain Planet because there's one dragon missing.
Heart. Water. Earth.
Yep.
No? Okay.
No, I was definitely an Earth fan. Kwame was my
I was ready
favorite.
to sing, and you just...
We're the Planeteers.
You can be one too.
Because derailing a shoutcasting experience
is the thing to do.
Thank you very much, Frostgrin. And Tank now taking down a Raptor camp. The rest of GT pushing up the mid lane. The Dragon has now spawned, but Snake gave up their positional advantage that they had around the area. And GT are now moving through. Tremor Sense helping out a lot as Wushuang is positioning himself really, really well to make use of it. But they're standing on a ward. Lots of wards around for Snake there as well as GimGoon with the teleport available, of course. Double TP available for both teams. It's going to be very important. And Flandre is waiting for the flank. He wants to get himself in there. They want to start a fight. And that gold lead has not changed in this entire game.
Oh, flaking TP.
Yeah, GimGoon looking for it. Krystal once again just going to get deleted. Everyone jumps on top of him. GimGoon is going to be the one that grabs this as PentaQ is going to sap a lot of the health out of Flandre, and he can't get to his team. GimGoon just being too much of a threat in the backline, and they can't stun him up. They can't lock him down. Flandre, he's going to die eventually. I have a feeling Wushuang is going to lock him down, and they haven't stopped. Look at this. It's like a freight train running through the Snake base. Jiezou's going to fall. ZZR the last one alive. And GT, what is this comp? It is working beautifully.
And we talked about this, how they cannot siege against the likes of Braum and Viktor, so every single objective advantage on the map has to be taken after team fights. Yes, you're absolutely right. It is a freight train. This is such a sticky team comp. But it's taking so long to choke Snake out, despite the fact that they're so potent and powerful, because they can't set up these fights. Snake are doing a good job staying away from them, but it was too little too late on a fantastic TP.
Yeah, stunning play, and they are going to be able to grab themselves the Baron off it as well. So, Baron falls down. That is actually going to be locked in by Savoki, the Baron taker himself. Lots of pings towards the bottom side, but let's have a look at this one again.
Okay, so big thing is the TP from GimGoon here, and he's going to lock up quite a bit of members. Yeah, that's just disgusting. It's a bounce house castle, immediately followed up by all the CC, and effectively Snake are running for their lives, which means that they're not doing any damage that they need to be. Flandre lasts forever.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean anything because there's no follow-up. And like you said, freight train, sticky, dive potential. They don't care anything about this tower. They just need to kill everyone so they can take the objective that they want. It's never going to be shove them off and then immediately try to go for the tower. Too much wave clear.
Exactly right, and that is going to be the third dragon that they picked up as well. Double Mountain and an Infernal now there for GT. And when they've got sort of these scaling champions, a 5-item Kassadin.
I mean, that's a, what, 8% scaling buff on 32 minutes, so you're effectively 3 items for pretty much every single champion, 4 items if you're Kassadin.
Yeah.
That's massive.
Yeah, big deal.
You know, free needlessly large rod.
Although, they do have an
It's
Ezreal
less.
who doesn't really care as much about flat AD because he likes to build Iceborne Gauntlets, so you're not going to have as much of like a flat statistic of AD, especially considering the fact that he went for the Blade of the Ruined King, which is a lot more sort of on-hit based. So, still good, definitely.
Normally I'd try to do the math, but I'm just like...
Yeah, let's not worry about it.
Yeah.
Just say it's theoretically not as good. There's decent Q for damage, and the Baron buff now trying to be weathered here from Krystal. Does have his Phantom Dancer, so dual potential, definitely right up there. This Tank wave clearing towards the top side. Republic, we'll see whether he decides to go for a dive, because Tank just took a trillion damage.
This is so much more important, though, the fact that they have the sieging tank minion.
Oh my god, Tank! Just going to get Rift Walked on the exhaust. Not enough at all. The stun comes in. We'll see whether Krystal can get the work done. But Republic's looking to try and take him down as well. Has his cooldowns back up. There is nothing Krystal can do. And GT, the split push working wonders.
It's the Baroned up tank minion as they're looking for the dive now.
Yeah, Wushuang actually right underneath this turret. ZZL locked up for a very, very long time as GimGoon down to about half health, but he's so tanky. JZ in so much trouble as Krystal kiting this one around. He went back to base, but it's just not enough. They break through the turret. Flandre, he's soaking a lot of damage, but it doesn't matter because the rest of Snake can't do anything about it. In goes Republic. My god, just ripping through the jungler. The Kassadin's working fantastically. Republic's played the last 2 games so well.
The entire squad has. If you told me that PentaQ Republic would be on a team that takes down Snake eSports, I would have laughed at you in spring. But this is a phenomenal
I would have laughed at you this morning.
showing from GT, as it looks like they're going to close out Snake in a 2-1 victory.
Yeah, the Nexus is going to fall down. Snake, nothing they could do that game. It was just proactive play and better play, honestly, out of this GT squad.